Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to the 2025 Salem State Boys Midseason. I hate that we're even saying it. Midseason award show. So today, in my nifty little booklet here, we had a lot of people chime in. A lot of our fans of this league chime into the awards that they felt were most fitting for every team so far, just through the 7 weeks out of the 14. I'll start off here with just the rankings that we have. So, without further ado, the first award goes to, or first place, I should say, for this year through 7 games is Ty, being the only team with 1,000 points, followed up by Brandon. He has just so many wide receivers. We'll call his team Wide Receiver City. And then in third place, myself is listed. Pretty much the opposite of Brandon. All I have is running backs. Some regrets there for sure, not drafting a wide receiver. And in fourth, we have John being carried by CMC, and Patrick Mahomes seems to be back on his bullshit and will probably win MVP in real life again. Next up in fifth, we have Mitch, who's being carried by Bijan Robinson and Jalen Hurts, the tushy push. I've also got Tyler Warren, that tight end that's just kind of a stud now. Sixth, we have Tony. Just got a lot of potentially good wide receivers like Justin Jefferson. Some of those cats just have been kind of underperforming by their standards, but you never know, something could change. The next one at 7, we have Big Mike, who's got Jahmyr Gibbs with a bunch of underperforming wide receivers on his roster. 8th here, we have Joe Flacco. We have Max, who has Joe Flacco on his team. He unfortunately kind of got a little bit of an injury bug with Malik Neighbors and Joe Burrow, but I love the move to go to Joe Flacco after Joe Burrow. Love just the dedication to the Bengals. Number 9 is Mike Drinan. He is quite literally the injury team. I mean, between CD Lamb, Brock Bowers, Lamar Jackson, James Conner. I think you even have Garrett Wilson. Like just injuries everywhere to top draft picks. And then in last place, we unfortunately have to have someone fit in here. That would be Dan. As of right now, his draft is not looking so great. So those are the rankings for the actual teams so far through the halfway through the season. And now we have some awards that we want to get to as well as a part of this beautiful show sponsored by Gillette, the best shave that a man can get. We're also sponsored by Victoria's Secret. Make sure to check out their stores. They've got great lingerie, bras, underwear for all fits and sizes. So the first award that we have, it's the MVP through the beginning of the year. So let's get to the first award. And the MVP through 7 weeks is none other than Christian McCaffrey. Didn't want to go with Mahomes just because he's a quarterback, so they kind of just tend to get most points anyways. But CMC, he's a running back, probably the most valuable fantasy position. Seeing as though receivers, you get to play 3 of them, running backs only 2. CMC has just been an absolute baller so far, so congrats so far to John for having the most impactful player this far into the season. The next award we have is the most valuable or best value on a draft pick. So let's get that award in. And the most value draft pick was actually me drafting Jonathan Taylor in the 3rd round this year. Can't say I predicted him to do that. As you all saw, my draft strategy was just take all running backs and hope for the best. Jonathan Taylor, 3rd round, a steal. He's, I want to say, like top 4 overall or something like that in players, just in fantasy in general. Getting him in the 3rd round, that was huge. Which then, after the best value pick, we do have the worst value pick of the season, which is also me taking Travion Henderson, who looked so fucking cool in the preseason, taking the first game opening kickoff to the house. I drafted him in the 5th round, and as of last week, he scored 0.5 points. There's a guy with his last name Jennings that now is just past him on the depth chart. No fucking clue who that is, but that's just great. Mike Vrabel. If you got a few drinks in him, I would say he probably hates fantasy football. If you had to ask him, like, do you like fantasy? He probably would say absolutely fucking not. And I almost wonder if taking Travion Henderson, playing him in the preseason, making him look so fucking good, that was like just his ultimate prank on fantasy guys like me, just to give us a middle finger. Well, you got me, Mike Vrabel, and I don't appreciate it, but I also am glad you coach my favorite team. Speaking of coaches, though, our next award is going to be the coach of the mid-season award, the coach that is doing the best job so far. So without further ado, the coach of the year thus far is Tony, with a shit ton of transactions. I can't make fun of that too much because I'm also on the list of someone who does a lot of transactions in fantasy. But Tony picked up Rico Dowdle. He was the first to pick up Fannin. Wandale Robinson, he was the first to grab. Darren Waller, he just recently got Kendrick Bourne, Danny Dimes, Manungai on the Bears. Like, he's just picking up guys left and right here. So he'll get the award for that, the mid-season of the Coach of the Year. The next award is the team that you can't sleep on just because it's midway through the season. So let's get to that award. It is Michael Drinan. So Michael Drinan, I mean, I kind of alluded to it with the rankings. His team has just been decimated by injuries, but looks like Lamar's coming back. Brock Bowers should be coming back, I'm assuming. Garrett Wilson's coming back. I'm trying to think of other guys you even have on your team. I know, CeeDee Lamb is back. I mean, James Conner, that leg was gnarly that he is not coming back. But gonna just say the team to not sleep on through the midpoint of the year is Mike Drinan's, just because you never know. Some of these guys can just come back and next thing you know, you're a wagon. And then the last thing I'll mention here is part of the show. It's not necessarily an award. I'm just going to give you my honest prediction of how I think the season will end. And the way I think this season will end, just based off the rosters, I think Brandon's going to take it all. So shout out to you, Brandon. I think your team is the best, especially just looking at schedules at the end of the year and like playoffs. Just your team's pretty favorable in a lot of your matchups. So I like you at the end as well as John. So I got you two in the Super Bowl, but I do have Brandon overthrowing John to take the league. So Brandon is the only guy that didn't go to Salem State, at least that I'm aware of. If you win the league, congrats. You walked into our house and you fucking took it over. But that's it. That's just the mid-year. I know I haven't been doing a lot of content, so I'll try to get back on top of that stuff. I've just been super fucking busy with life and whatnot. So yeah, stay tuned. Appreciate the listen, and let's go work into another half of the year. Hopefully the teams that are struggling can rebound, and hopefully the teams that are performing well so far can keep it rolling. Ciao.